Well folks, hello and a very warm welcome back to a very cold, relaxing woodshop. Yes, the fire is lit, it is a frosty one outside and it's pouring out of the heavens. So what we're going to do in this show, I'm hoping that we're going to be able to floor the entire ground floor, the base where we're going to have the tavern, both the small section of the tavern and the large section, and then we're going to then start building the structural walls. So as I want to try and keep this as little non-wood related products in it. Yes, I'm going to have to put a few screws underneath to give it the real support, but other than that, hold on, sorry, we're wobbling. Other than that, camera person's got an itchy foot. So other than that, everything else is just going to go. So today, floors and then the main structure. So let's see how far we can get on and let's get cracking. Oh, before we go, I just want to say a massive thank you. 10 extra followers from our last video. So that means so much to us. So keep them coming. Thank you very much. Okay, folks, so I'm not going to bore you every single thing that I repeatedly have to do, but I'll show you how I do each one a few times. So as it says, I'm wanting to really try and recreate this as best as possible. So I'm even going to put in the floorboards, which you will never ever see, the rafters between the floorboards, but I just want it to look as authentic as possible. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these, we're going to measure them to each length of this here, and we're going to cut them, and then we're going to bring them, you know, put them all the way across. I'm thinking I'm going to need about 15, 16. So let's cut them to size and then get them glued in. Okay folks, so now that we have them all lying down across the two areas, what we're going to do now, we're going to glue them, let them set, and then we'll start doing the floorboards. Doing the floorboards is with lollipop sticks, so that's going to be fun. So let's show you, I don't need to show you how to glue these down, but I'll show you how to glue them down. Might actually take a couple of these off and sign this first, hidden in there, and then you'll never see it again, so I thought that might be a good idea. So we'll sign that. Don't know why I signed it, makes me think as if actually people know me. So yeah, let's glue. Okay folks, so that is us all down here. Now I know it looks a wee bit messy with the glue. Once that starts to set, I'm going to get a cloth in there and wipe all that out. But I want it to set first because if I start wiping it now, it'll move all the sticks. But this is what it'll look like when it's wiped out. So it is. So that's why this bit's drying. This bit has dried. So we're going to start doing the floorboards now. So as I said, it's absolutely freezing outside. So anyway, this is when I'm over at the fire warming up. Lollipop sticks. All we're going to do is line them up perfectly. So instead of cutting them one at a time, we're going to line them up perfectly, and then now you could do this with a miter saw. I'm just going to use a bandsaw because I have one that's handy. So we'll get them cut so they're perfectly straight. Then we're going to stress them to make them look older, and then we're going to get a screwdriver and put 4 dots on each, 2 dots on each side to make it look like wee nail bolts, so it looks like they've actually been nailed and look older than what they actually are. Okay folks, so now we have a lot of them done. What we're going to do is, I don't know which ones are going to need halves and which one are going to need whole, but I also want to have the tiniest wee gaps in between them to show imperfections, to show that they've been used over a long period of time. So we're just going to lay them out, put them down, and then once we do that, we'll do the rest of it, and then we'll get onto the walls. Now folks, as you know, we've measured this out quite well, but I can promise you I did not measure it to do this. So watch this. Glue in. Glue in. That was 100% a fluke. Definitely a fluke, but a happy fluke. Okay folks, as I've been going along and doing it in, I'm noticing that it's all very, what's the word, repetitive. So what I've done on only 2 or 3 of them is kind of almost like broke the lollipop to show this an older piece of wood, but I also wanted a couple of them to raise up ever so slightly to show that it's just rustic and it's, you know, that era. So how did I do that? Well, all you do is you get your popsicle stick, and if you get somewhere hard, I'll show you over here, let's move over. So yeah, now obviously you don't have to have one of these, but I have one of these, and all I was doing was getting a bit of wood, doing that a couple of times, and that actually bends the wood. So back over here. So now if we look closely, the wood's just sitting in a jar. I've only done a few, I don't want it to be everywhere, but if we can tip it a wee bit more, there you are, you can see it now the way it's just breaking them up. Looks lovely. Okay folks, so there we have it for another week at the Relaxing Wood Shop. I would hope I would have got more done, but it was just so tedious there. In a good way, I enjoyed it. So we've got the beans along the ground, all cut and then glued in, and then we've turned lollipop sticks, and then we've turned them into the floorboards and then made them look like they're all very old, and we've been able to bend a couple of them up there. So the next job is to get the walls up. Now we'll be able to do that in the next show. It'll go very quickly. So other than that, I look forward to seeing you next time on the Relaxing Wood Shop.